What's up, ladies and gents? Sunshine One, your host here, and welcome back to more Sniper Elite. Resilience, Resurgence, Restitution, Sniper Elite, Resistance. That's it. I got it. Sniper Elite Resistance. It's one of the R's. I knew it. This is going to be mission number 5, Devil's Cauldron, of our 100% stealth walkthrough. So this was another really tough mission to do. It's a nighttime mission, so yeah, 19 collectibles. As always, you guys know the spiel at this point. Now, there's a few things I want to mention about this mission. Is there's going to be a lot more targets taken down, even though one is technically all we actually take down. The other targets are taken down because of objectives being blown up and stuff like that. But otherwise, it's still a 100% ghost like you come to see. Don't forget to leave a like. I hope you guys enjoy. We're going to start from the bottom, and then we're going to do our normal kind of zigzag pattern as we go around. I'm going to head over to the right side and then back up and then end off towards the kill target. So hopefully you guys enjoy, and of course, it's go time.
Chemical analysis of equipment and components recovered in Fourvier indicates that Kleiner Blumer is an advanced form of nerve agent, and as a result, poses a significant threat to D-Day. Thanks to the Vertigo files and reports from resistance cells throughout France, we are continuing to identify all sites being used by Special Committee C. And we have now located Site D, the Kleiner Blumer production facility, and the location of a command and control bunker, the destruction of which could aid impending Allied efforts in the area. With vast amounts of chemical components arriving at regular intervals, the nerve agent is being manufactured in a plant hidden somewhere within the Rove Tunnel, west of Marseille, dangerously close to a large civilian population. Hawker, despite the risk to the surrounding population, your mission may be the only way to save D-Day, and perhaps the war itself. Locate the Kleiner Blumer production facility and destroy or disable the plant, by any means necessary, at any cost.
No wonder Carrion looked like a ghost when I left. Gotta be smart about this, or a lot of innocent lives could be lost. Destroy or disable the chemical weapons plant by any means necessary. And with Marseille not even 6 miles away.
All right, so to kick things off, immediately from the start, there's going to be a lighthouse facing to your left. This is where your first stoned eagle is going to be located. It is a little bit further away. However, it's exactly about 402 meters from the point that I am, so all you have to do is make sure you set your scope range to 400, and you shoot it just like normal. And you're far enough away from anyone that no one should be able to hear. Also, make a mental note that you're going to have lightning strikes throughout this level. So you can use that to your advantage if ever you need to particularly lay up a shot on something and you don't want anyone else to hear you. Well, then make sure you do it when that happens right there. That will definitely come in handy for us a few times later on in this mission. This is a pretty big map, and it's one of those maps where it's easy to get lost because there's so many different directions to go in. So, you know, you might see me like do some backtracking here and there, but that's only because you know, you're trying to focus on getting one particular thing, and then there might be one, just one simple collectible over here where you wouldn't normally ever have to go if you're just doing the main objective. If you speak only of main objectives here, this is probably would be the shortest mission in the game because there's literally only like one main type of objective one, but it takes you a while to get there because of course it's at the very top right of the map. So not a lot of objectives to do in this game. Of course, we have a lot because we're doing all the optional objectives, which there are a total of 3 optional objectives. One is going to be to destroy 4 trucks. Then you got to sabotage the oil tanker. And then there's obviously the kill list. So there's a lot of optional things to do in this mission that make this mission just about as long as all the other ones. And of course, this is a huge map with a lot of kind of hills, secret entrances and things like that to different ways to get around your objective and stuff. So just follow the path that I do here, and hopefully it'll be the path of least resistance so we can go from one to the next without too much backtracking. But there will be some backtracking in this level just because of the nature of how it is. So we've headed over to the left side from the starting point. Once we pass that checkpoint, you can just go to the left of that guy, and this will take you over here to this church. And in this church, there's going to be a few collectibles for you to pick up once you go along this path here. So the collectibles you're going to be picking up in this area obviously are going to be a workbench. There's going to be one of your hidden items, which is also another one of your propaganda missions, I guess, that you can do. So you remember those posters that we pick up? Well, there's one in each level. I guess they unlock a... I haven't really been looking because all I've done is the single player. I haven't done the other modes that this game has to offer. Here's that first personal letter, so collectible number 2 of 19. But once you pick up a poster level in each level, I guess that unlocks this kind of tiny level, a mode, a propaganda mode, and that you can partake in, of course, as always. But the stealth here is pretty self-explanatory. Obviously, wait till you have... the perfect timing for you to be able to move. Other than that, there's not really too much to explain in this area. It's not too difficult. Just wait for them to talk. Once they're done, they're both going to split up left and right. One guy is going to go to the right, but he's going to do a patrol pattern on the inside of the church. But just be wary of him because he does some weird turns that he could still see you, because we're going to make our way to the right side to grab that poster. You don't really have to worry about the guy on the left anymore. And when we go all the way to the right side, then we're going to go into the back of the church, and then there's going to be a locked door. Now, we don't have bolt cutters at this point, so you will have to pick the lock, which will take you a little bit longer. But nobody goes back there from what I saw during my time playing this, so you should be able to go over here on the right side once you know that he's not looking anymore. Get the poster here to unlock the next mission or mode that you need to do, the challenge, I guess. And then we're going to head to the back, unlock the door, head downstairs, and we're going to grab the workbench that's down there. And then I'll come back whenever I feel like I need to explain something to you. Otherwise, just make sure you follow the steps that I do, and you should be good. All right, so from this point, when you get to the road right here, we're going to go back a little bit, and we're going to head back to the area that we were kind of a little earlier ago, and we're going to cross. You'll notice that we're on the bottom side now.
When they hit those beaches.
As you can see, there is a bridge above us, so we're just essentially going to head exactly back to where we were before. Now, if you want an easier way to get into that level, I guess you could have come down here and then went the same way we were going now. However, you would still have to get that personal letter that's on the far side. So either way, it doesn't matter. That just kind of loops us around. But once we come back over here, we're going to have a few things to get in this area. Obviously, there will be something inside the big building there, but we have a little tiny shack here right in front of us. And this shack is going to be one guard waiting. He has a particularly long time before he starts moving, so he patrols on the outside where you see him right there, and then once he goes inside, he works on a few things, and he's in there for quite a long time. So, if you want to, you can distract him. I actually recommend going up right now and trying to get in there into it and grab it, because I don't think he'll be able to see you, but I never tested that out, because I'm going to go to the other side and we're just going to wait patiently for him to turn around and go back to the other direction. But after seeing the way that he kind of looks, I really feel that you probably could climb at that other area on the other side and then sneak into here, pick up what you're trying to get, which is going to be right here and to the left. It's on the desk there. I don't think he's going to be able to see you if you were to try to enter from that side. But like I said, I did not test it as I was able to make it through here, you know, without too much trouble. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to head inside, keep weary of all of the, you know, the people inside. There's also a guard that is directly below this little building right here. He's directly down to the left because there's a road down there, so you do need to watch out for him sometimes. Let's go ahead and grab this. And sometimes it's a little hard to pick up. This was a personal letter. You notice how a lot of times I'll be kind of like maneuvering my sticks in a weird way. That is, like I said, mainly because for whatever reason, sometimes the prompt for picking things up just disappears, and you have to be in a particular spot for it to come back. So you see the guard down there. He pretty much stays on there the whole time. Do not fear, you're still able to go all the way up the stairs that we're going to without him seeing you. There is a guard that patrols around the back side here, and there's another guard around the back area too. So this guy kind of does like a little semicircle, and then the other guy in the back stays in the back area. So we're going to need to come up here and then come upstairs, but don't worry about this guy seeing you down here, as he usually won't. All right, once you do that, we're going to come through this room here. And then you will find the classified document on the table here to the left. We're going to head over in this direction now. Kind of like maintaining an upwards trajectory as we're going around towards the right side. Come back the same way we came, of course. Just want to make sure that there's no sniper out there looking. Now that guy, you know, depending on, he could be in a different location whenever you come by, so you can go across that front area, but obviously it's safer to probably go towards the back, because that guy usually just stays around in that area, so you don't have to worry about too much with him. Once we've come along the back, we're going to continue on to the right. And this is where we're going to shoot our second stoned eagle. It's going to be on this little crane here, right before we enter this tunnel, which is going to give us a workbench. So this is the location that it is going to be located at. It's going to be straight in front of us on top of the crane. Now, I want you to pay attention. So you see that there is a sniper on top of that crane. If we were to shoot this right here and now, he would automatically just start firing on us. There's nothing you can do about it. This is why we wait for the thunder. It might take a few seconds. It might take a minute. You remember, thunder just keeps rolling throughout the entire level. So use the thunder to your advantage. And as soon as that comes up, boom. There will be one more stone eagle that we're going to get towards the end of the level, or depending on where you go when you do this level, it could be the end, it could be more towards the beginning. I mean, it just depends on which order you do things in. But if you are following me, then it'll be towards the end. So we're going to run in here. There's a guard that patrols around this truck. There's also trucks that come through this area too, so you do need to be careful and make sure you're looking behind you. He's going to go to the right, and then he's going to come back over to where I am right now, and then he'll stay over where I am. But we also have this guy to worry about, so you have to wait till he turns. It's, like I said, this is a, stealth is a trial and error style of gameplay, and it's not for everybody. It's can be very frustrating sometimes because enemies can do unpredictable things. When you're going in and just shooting everybody in an area, you don't have to worry about that stuff. You just focus on trying to be good at shooting. But when you're doing stealth, you have to sit and try and focus and realize that enemies can do anything at any time, and just don't give up. I know you guys can do it. If I'm able to do it, I swear you all are able to do it as well. As there's no such thing as anyone being perfect at stealth. It's impossible. Stealth is trial and error. It's just a matter of getting used to the mechanics of whatever game you're playing, and then having the patience to get through it. So follow up behind him and then move to the left. He's going to move to the right so you can get around his character there, and then we're going to head down. Now, there is a starting location that we can get right here to the right, but we need to do a little backtracking. It's not really backtracking because we haven't actually been to this location, but when we shot the stone, if we didn't go into the tunnel and instead we came in, we kept moving towards the way that we were going, then you would have come across this place. But so we're coming back to it right now. There's about 4 guards here you have to worry about. There's one there, one directly across, one to our left, and then one up that patrols this little building right here. So what we want to do is go inside when you have the clear advantage to do so. He is patrolling along this outside, so he doesn't come inside. And then we're going to grab maintenance key and a personal letter. Now he should be patrolling back, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you we need to go exactly back to the location that we just were as we continue along the path we're doing. But in order to get there, obviously, if you want to make it a little bit quicker, we're going to use a distraction whistle on this guy. This will make, because what he does is just goes back to where he was before, and it'll take about a minute or two before you're able to continue on. So go ahead and do the whistle here, and then you should be able to get by him and then continue to move on. See, that's the building we were at earlier. Kind of get a sense of where we are. There's a lot of places that are across from each other, and at this point all the guards were lined up perfectly for me to be able to hurry up and get through this section while being able to maintain a run, which anyone that's played this game, especially on a harder difficulty, knows that it's almost impossible to run around the map unless you've played it enough and you know exactly when the guards are looking and when they're not. So again, that's trial and error for you. There's a truck that comes through this area, just like you saw before. So we're just kind of slowing our roll a little bit as he's going to be coming around any moment now. But before he gets there, try to make it over here to the new starting location. We'll start to see the truck here in just a moment. There he is. You can see the flashlights of the truck. So try to get over here as quickly as possible, and then that way you can already be set and ready to go. Once the truck passes, there is one guard that is up here that we're going to need to sneak around. But he's not too difficult to get around. But come up here, you're going to be able to climb this, and then this will be your first optional starting location. So remember, there's 3 starting locations in every map. The first one is automatically unlocked, and then there's 2 to unlock. But at this point, we've got everything we need, so we're going to head up to the main objective. All the other stuff will come as we finish that main objective, and then we're going to start maneuvering around to the other side of the map. So as far as this goes, this is really just a long stretch of, getting to where we need to go. One of your optional objectives, again, this is an optional objective. It's not an objective you have to do, but if you want the 3 stars on every level, then you're going to have to do it. This is the one that we're going to come up to is destroying 4 trucks. So we have a truck coming by here, and we have this guy. This guy, it's sometimes he hears this and sometimes he doesn't, but for safety measure, I would definitely recommend to throw a bottle to the left here. But for whatever reason, either I threw it too far away or he doesn't hear it, or maybe the sound masked it, even though I was waiting here until it was over. But as you can see, it came right back, so my guess is he just couldn't hear it because of that. He doesn't really look in this direction, so you're free to go. Just get along this side here and stay as far to the right as the game will allow you, and then continually move up. So where we're heading to next is this big rock quarry area with a bunch of trucks that we're going to need to destroy eventually. But we got to go through a lot of this stuff here. It's just kind of running along and seeing if there's enemies placed out. You know, there'll be some enemies, but a lot of enemies are mostly out of the way, so you can usually get through this section not too bad. There's one on the top, and just kind of like continue to move, and you should be good to go. It'll take a little bit before we get to the next objective that we're doing, so I'll see you when we get there.
Okay, this'll help. Those trucks must be how they cart around all the chemical shipments arriving here. I should take them out.
All right, so here we come across the optional objective. This one is to destroy 4 trucks. Luckily, the game has provided us pretty easy methods to do so, while still remaining stealthy. Now, these are the situations that when you are destroying stuff, if you're not taking out enemies, well, then they're going to be included in the blasts that happen. So I don't count them as far as me, you know, taking them out, because they're not part of the target list or anything. Like, these are just accidental kills that you can really do nothing about unless you take them out yourself. And it would be a 4-hour video if I tried to distract every single guard to get away from trucks. And so that doesn't seem fun to me. So I don't count them for enemies that I'm actually taking out, but you will have some collateral damage when you're doing some of these side objectives. So here are 2 of the trucks. Now notice that there is some perfectly, you know, placed barrels in this right truck here. There's no place to put satchels or anything like that on, so what I've found the best thing to do is to, at this point, you'll see that there are 4 trucks here, each separated by 2. You notice that there is a big thing right above the other truck, which is also next to another truck. So it's essentially like this. You're going to take down that thing, you're going to shoot that right there, and it's going to bring down an explosion on the 2 trucks there. Then what we're going to do is shoot the explosive barrels that are in the back of the trucks that we just saw. But we need to get to a position that it'll be easy for us to escape, because obviously once this happens, then, you know, all the enemies are going to, the ones that are still left alive, are going to be looking around and searching for what just happened. This game was not meant, again, and I've said this many, many times, these games, these Sniper Elite games, they're meant to be stealthy, obviously, but they're not meant to be stealthed like I'm doing. I'm essentially breaking these games because there's a lot of areas in these maps that just have so many enemies that no one expected to sneak around all of them and leave them, and not knock them out or take some of them out to make the routes a little easier. And that's what I do. I try to make things significantly tougher and break games almost, just to see if it's possible. So, in these situations here, this is obviously something you have to do. You have to destroy this. You have to create some noise if you want to get this star. You can't complete this without doing so. There's no remote control thing you can hit that you can be far away when this thing blows up. So, some of these games, they're just not meant to be 100% stealthed. But now we're going to continue along the path. There's a convenient place for us to use the bolt cutters here that we picked up just before we got to this area. Now, you have to crouch in order to get through here, and sometimes you can get stuck in the environment. Happens a bunch, and there's some glitches that I will explain a little bit later. As you can see, the guys are starting to move up on your position, so get out of there as quickly as possible, because eventually what's going to happen is they're going to go right to your location. It's kind of like a homing beacon almost, that if you stay too long in an area where you've done something, they will eventually find you, because they just continue to look around, and it's almost like they just morph right into you. So right here is obviously you could pick this and get, a few items if you want them, but no collectibles in sight, not for a while. So just continue along this side, and we're going to head up towards the next area, which is going to be the main location, where we're going to have some collectibles as well as our one and only main mission objective. So we'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so we're at this point here. You can't move forward. That is because there is a guy kind of patrolling that window up there, so you have to move to the right side. The reason I went to the other side is I was going to see if there was a secret entrance over there, but there was not, as that takes you further back into the wrong direction. Although there are more ways to get into this facility. This is not the only way. There's the way that's in the middle of the map that you could go through, which is how we're going to exit. But the reason that we didn't go that way is because we're going to grab some collectibles that are coming out of the exit as well, and then a bunch that are right in that area where another optional objective is. So just keep maneuvering yourself over to the right here. All we need to do is continue along this same path that you see me do in this back side, and then we're going to be able to sneak our way inside, which is one of the hardest places to stealth. So there's so much I have to explain here that I'm going to go ahead and start doing it. So what you see me do here, just try to do the same. Try not to get caught as you're going around the back side here. But once we get inside, there's a lot of enemies in a very small area. It's very similar to where Sniper Elite 5, there was a mission that you were at like a boat deck or something like that, where there's a lot of these stairs with these areas above them that enemies can see you from below, from to the side, and you have to worry about a lot of enemies. And then what's going to happen is you have got to blow this thing up. And when you blow it up, it's going to automatically cause an alarm to happen pretty much base wide. And it doesn't make things harder, but that section trying to escape is probably the toughest section I've ever faced in this game so far to this point. It is a real challenge, and just getting in here without being seen was a real challenge, and you'll see it's just it's crazy tough.
Production facility, just part of a warehouse. Need to head deeper into the complex.
So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use a bottle on this guy. He does not move, so you won't be able to get past him unless you do so. Which is why I'm not doing a no distraction walkthrough, because that would be another fun thing to do, is not distract enemies and still find a way around. But enemies don't move sometimes, so you have to use some form of distraction to get them to move. So we were able to make it here, but just be careful, because there are guards all around looking on this direction, so just be very careful. Once the officer moves, then you have the guy that's on the far side there that you need to worry about. What he's going to do is just make a straight line back and forth. So once he is past the point of where he would see you, then go ahead and start making your way up. Now, he's going to get a glimpse of you just because the timing is just really, really tough, as you can see right here. And what he'll do is actually head over here. But if he only gets a glimpse of you, then it's not, he didn't see you 100%, so you're good to go. Head into this room, and then there's going to be a little vent that you can get to. You can also use a satchel charge to get in there. But you'll see that this area has a lot of glitching in it. For one, it took me a long time to be able just to continually walk through this, or to crawl through this vent here. It just kept forcing me to stand up, but finally got it once you backed up. There's also another area when we're escaping that you cannot go, because if you try to go down the stairs block you from going. I don't know if it's a too high of a frame rate issue, but that feels like that's for old games, not for new games. And I'll kind of explain that once we get to there. But here we pick up a workbench. So this next section after the workbench is super tough because you don't know where the guards are. Remember, this is on authentic, and you don't get a map. You don't get the Invisa see-through mode that you get on the normal mode where you can actually see through walls and stuff. We're not using any of that stuff. So just do whatever you want with the workbench. And what you want to do is, as soon as you open this door, immediately get back as quickly as possible. If you're not quick enough, and depending on where the guard is, I don't know where he's going to be in yours, but depending on where he is, he has a nasty chance of coming into this room. If you open this door, they can come into the room. So it's very, very tricky, and you still have to open this door because there's another guard on the right side. So and we need to use this door as cover, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So back up here. He's looking in the opposite direction, so he doesn't necessarily see you at this point, so you're good to go, and he'll continue along his path. As soon as he moves, get behind the door, use it as cover. There's going to be a guard coming on that side. Now what you want to do is move straight ahead. Get over in this corner. I know it might seem like you're going to get caught here, but it's one of those instances where he's not actually lined up straight ahead. He's before the thing, and the cone vision gets blocked by this thing that's in front. He won't look to the left or right. He'll just look straight, so continue to go. This is where we're going to exit later on once we've completed the main objective. But right there, those stairs, you cannot go back down them. Once you go up, you can't go back down. So those stairs that I just went up, you will not be able to go back this method to get down. I tried so many times. I would get to the point of where I'm backtracking, everything is good, but for whatever reason, the stairs, it was like an invisible wall, and it just doesn't work. I mean, maybe you guys can tell me if you had that same issue in yours, but for me, I couldn't do it. So I had to find another method, which obviously made it even more tougher. Because if we were able to get through there, you'll see when you come back, it would be an easy route once you get past the first initial barrage of enemies. But because that route won't work, and it didn't work for me, it made it a little tougher. So once the other guard does a quick turnaround, he does it really quick. Come up here because you have a guard that's straight ahead there as well. We're going to pick up a collectible here. This guy stays there the entire time. He doesn't look away. He doesn't do anything. But what he does is he kind of just looks left and right. So if you can time things correctly, then you can get into the room without using a distraction item. However, getting into the next room is going to require you to use a distraction item, which we're going to use the whistle. So as you can see, I'm kind of testing to see exactly what he does here. He does this little look to the left, he does this little look to the right, and when they do that, they're actually looking that direction, so you can sneak around. Now you can go ahead and grab this collectible here, and because of the radios that are in there blocking, or the switchboards or whatever you want to call them, you can grab it. It's just sometimes it's a little hard to do so. Now from this point, you're not able to continue to go right because he will see. So what you're going to want to do, and if you didn't notice there, I was kind of trying to show you guys exactly how many collectibles we had up to this point. But so we're going to use the whistle. We're going to whistle there. The reason you don't want to throw something is it'll cause another guard to come into the room, and you don't want 2 guards, you just want 1. Make your way down in the bottom floor. The reason is you have to knock out this guy if you want the collectible. Now, if you want the collectible stealthy, you have to knock out this guy. So this is a officer who has a key that'll open the safe that'll get us a collectible. That safe can be used with a satchel, but with all these enemies here, it kind of defeats the whole purpose of stealth, unless I just took them all out. So if you want to do this stealthy, what you have to do is knock him out. So yes, this is our one mandatory knockout. There's no way to get around it. Unfortunately, there's not like a steal option. So just wait right here for him to come down the stairs, and then once they're done talking, go ahead and pacify him.
Off we go.
As you can see, we just picked up the safe key. Now we're going to put the body in a way that no one will see right here, but it really doesn't matter because bodies are going to be found anyways because of us blowing certain things up. There's no way, I think it's probably, in my opinion, impossible. Well, I don't want to say it's impossible. If you go around the map killing every single person, it's probably possible for no one to find a body because no one's left to find a body. But that would take ages. So if you're doing it stealthy like this, there's really no way for enemies not to find certain bodies just because of you having to blow optional objectives up. So we picked up the classified documents.
Happy to lend them a helping hand.
There's a guard that patrols up there. And then we're going to exit out this side right here. We're going to go there, and then we'll come straight down from where we are. This is the hard part because as soon as you press the button, you go into alert mode. Now we use the key that we got. So we're going to make our way around here. There's a guard up. There's a guard behind you too, so you need to be quick. This guy sometimes will see you, sometimes he won't. As you can see, you just kind of got to wait to see what he's going to do. He'll do different things in these situations. This time he's running that way, which is actually perfect for us because sometimes he runs into the room that we're in, which you can still get by him, but you can't predict what he's going to do because he does different things almost every single time. So if you sneak through here, you're going to have a door that you can open. So we got pretty lucky in this because the guy went this way. And if he goes this way, he's going to go all the way around to the beginning. And that's how we're going to be able to escape. Now, at this point, because he went that way, we can go ahead and run all the way over to here to this ladder. There's about 5 guards in that middle area, so you need to make sure you're quick or you will be seen. Now, normally I would go through this door, stay up on this level, and then go to the stairs that I told you, but they're blocked. They will not let you through. It's an invisible glitch or something, so you have to do it this way, which makes it so much tougher because you've got all these guys looking in this direction. You can see you got an officer there. There's like 3 guys behind you, so the timing is so critical to get into this area. Those stairs right there on the right, you cannot, even though it would be so easy to go down them, they're glitched. I don't know. Like I said, if you had that same problem and you couldn't use those stairs for whatever reason, let me know. This is the PC edition. But that was tougher than it looked. I know a lot of times I'm making these things look so much easier than they are. I assure you, these take hours and hours of trying the same section and seeing, okay, how can I do this? How can I do this? It's not as easy as I may make it look. So make sure you leave a like. It helps. And support the channel. These videos, they're getting some decent views, but obviously we're not making any money from them because it's the beginning of the month or beginning of the year, and we usually don't make any money in the beginning of the year. YouTube ads are down. So if you want to support the channel, leave a tip. It really helps us out. A super thanks, all that good stuff. It just keeps us afloat during these lower times when you know, ads aren't flowing freely and all that kind of stuff. So I do appreciate those of you out there that do take the time to leave a donation. It doesn't matter how small it is. Every little bit helps. So thank you to all of you that do so. So once this guy turns around, then we can go. What we have to do right now is the next optional objective. This is the second optional objective, which is going to be to blow up this area here. There's not really many guards right here. There's going to be 2 guards you have to worry about at this section up ahead. What we're going to do is once we're done with this optional objective, then we're going to come right back and head to the right. And then continue up the hill. So once this guy turns around, that's our cue to go. But you do need to be quick because his pattern will kind of go up a little bit and then go right back down in the same spot. So you don't have a lot of time to do this. You need to make sure that you've picked up a satchel charge at this point because we're going to use a satchel to do this. So you've seen me pick them up throughout this level, so make sure you're doing the same. Everything you see me do, do it as well. Do the light fuse, that way you have enough time to get out. And again, this is the optional objective. This is the second of 3 optional objectives. First was the truck, then this one. So that guy wasn't making his way back yet, so we were able to make it without having to throw the bottle. But the bottle is just a precaution in case he starts coming back. At this point, we can run. It's about to start blowing up. No one is looking at this path here, so you can continually move. And there we go. So that optional thing is done. We just have one more optional left. We're already been able to exfiltrate for a long time. So like I said, the main mission objective has been done. But now we need to get some more collectibles. So we're going to head in this direction.
That grass could offer solid cover.
All right, so up ahead we have a hidden item. Wait for them to stop talking, and once they do, they're going to separate, and then they'll give you a perfect opportunity right here to grab it. And then what we're going to do is continue on, and then we're going to use some zip lines a little bit later ahead to get down to the next optional objective before we tackle the kill list to finish the mission up.
Ich hatte ja keine Ahnung, dass Ziegler so schlimm ist.
Glaub mir, halt dich von ihm fern.
All right, so continue to make your way up here once we grab that. Once you're past the point where you think they won't see any more, then we can start running here. What we're going to do is make a left. You can see where we are. We're kind of above where we came out of the big bunker. We're going to make a left at this little path here. We're going to pick up another collectible, but it's also going to give us a zip line down to the next area. As far as this one goes, you just need to wait for the proper timing to get around these guys. They're going to have a conversation. You can either crawl under if you don't have the bolt cutters, so you can still get in here even if you don't have the bolt cutters. But obviously we don't want to make ourselves a silhouette, so we're going to use the bolt cutters so we can get down. Once these guys are done talking, one's going to head straight into the tunnel area, the other is going to stay back. It's just it's a game of making sure that you're knowing where the enemies are and trying to get. So we need to go inside and into the first room in the left. Once we do that, then we're going to make our way towards the zip line, and then we'll head to the next section.
Sonst hört uns der Kommandant noch und stationiert uns auch da.
At this point, don't go to the right, just go to the left. I actually got pretty lucky that the guy didn't hear that, because if he would have heard it, I was trying to get him to go in the opposite direction. If he would have heard it, then that would have made me going to the left a little bit more difficult, but because he didn't hear it, so I got lucky. So my suggestion is not to throw that there. There's a guard here against the truck here, so but if you go on the outside, you won't see him. This guy will set in place, so sit here for just a second until he gets in place. Then he's going to look off to the right, so you're good to go. And you can go to the left side and enter the room.
This is the right place, but the main entrance is too well defended. Looks like I'll have to find another way inside.
So ignore what he says there because we already did the main objective. The game's just not programmed to realize that. So go in here and, of course, grab the hidden item, 3 of 3. And as you can see, we're at 15 out of 19. So we got 16, 17, 18, 4 collectibles left. And then we will finish up the mission with another optional objective and the kill list. So we're going to make our way out to the right and then to the left here. We're going to take 2 zip lines down. But you want to make sure that when you do zip line, that flashlight's not looking directly as you land. It's pretty close. You're kind of zip lining right next to enemies, so. All right, so we're going to take one more zip line. It's going to bring us right here. You want to come this way because there's going to be a stone eagle that we're going to need to shoot, and you can only shoot it from behind this area here. So once you do that and you come down here and you take the zip line, there's going to be some more collectibles inside the optional objective. And then we'll head over to the kill list, which there'll be 2 more collectibles and the third and final optional starting location, which is also where you exfiltrate from, or one of the areas to exfiltrate.
Can we?
So there's an enemy off to the right side there. So the way that this section works is there's one guard that's at the bottom there, and he just looks directly in the area, so you really can't get by him unless you distract him some way. He's the one you really have to worry about, and the stone eagle is over in the area where I'm pointing right here. However, you can't really see it until you get to a certain location. So either you can climb the entire thing to get up to the rail yard up there to get to the stone eagle. There is a sniper up there.
Not cracking open U-boats.
It's going to be right up there. So you can climb all of that. There is a sniper up there, and if you want to take him out, sure. But if you don't want to have to knock anyone else out, then you're going to want to do it from down here. So again, this is one of those instances where we're going to use the thunder to shoot it. So right here is the location where I shoot it from, right in the opposite direction there. And you could just barely see it. So as soon like I said, it could take up to a minute that you might be waiting here. Normally I would probably just fast forward the time here, but I want you guys to see exactly how long it takes so you can prepare your minds for it. I'm trying not to skip anything because I want you to see what it goes through to do what I do so you can replicate it. Make sure you do not shoot until the noise of the thunder happens. That way nobody knows. All right, so now it is time to head inside the building. And we're going to do that because there is a collectible on the top floor and our optional objective to complete as well. So come over here to the side. Now there is a sniper that still looks generally in this direction, so you do want to be quick and pay attention to where he is. There's a glitch here. The ladder will not let you go all the way up. You cannot go all the way up, so you have to move to the right, and then you can get up from that location. Enter into the building. There's going to be two guys talking. Make your way along the left side. We need to go all the way across. There's going to be an office in the top floor. That guy there just goes back and forth and looks in the same exact area, so that's why you want to go this route instead of going, like, say, from the bottom area there and then coming across here. Plus, this keeps you away from getting seen by the sniper, because if you're on that ground area right below us, he will definitely see you and start shooting. It happened to me. So that's why I had to find this route to do it. So pick up the collectible here. Classified document, but it is also
dangers of overloading the fuel pump. Sounds like an accident waiting to happen.
It kind of gives you a little hint as to what you need to do now. So it'll explode if we over flood the fuel line. So what we need to do is wait here for a sec until this guard gets into place. Once he does so, we're going to jump down. And we're going to make our way to this left area here. What we need to do is turn that handle, and once we turn that handle, then we can shoot the actual fuel line that is coming out of the boat. And you can do that with your silence pistol. That way you don't make noise. Or you can, of course, wait until you get an opportunity via the thunder.
It'd be a real shame if some chance I accidentally turned the pump on.
Alright, so on our way out, we're going to head to the door, and then we're going to shoot the fuel line. And there you go.
That'll do it. Straight to the bottom.
Now, there are two ways to get into this area, but there is a guard that patrols this front entrance. However, there is a back entrance that you can get in without the guard. So essentially you can see where the exfiltration point is right to our right, or to our right or left on this screen. That is where you're going to grab the third, or should I say the second optional starting point. So just make sure that this guard doesn't see you, obviously, as you're going over here to the right, and we're going to sneak our way around. See, inside that area right there, there's a lot of people just kind of going crazy, so that's why you want to not take the shot until you're essentially out of the building, and in that way your stealth remains intact. So you see these stairs here. What you're going to do is just come down to this location. This is, again, where you're going to exfiltrate as well, but we'll go ahead and grab the starting location right now. And we need to head inside. So this is where our kill target is. So this specific kill target is a loud kill target, meaning that in order to complete the challenge for him, you have to take him out with an LMG. So that kind of negates the whole stealthiness, right? But leave it to Strain. I found a way to do it, and nobody knows. Nobody knows the trouble I see. Stealth is a real mean mamma jamma. So we're going to enter through this window here, and we're going to head upstairs. The officer that we need to take out is the only one that's going to be dressed the way he is, so you'll know it is. See how you get stuck on these environments? They got to fix that. Hopefully, when Sniper Elite 6 comes out eventually, that they figure out how to do that. Because in this game, you get stuck on so many different environments. Alright, so you're going to enter in this room on the right side, and on the chair is going to be another personal letter, which means there's only one more collectible left, as you can see, 18 out of 19, and it's going to be on the opposite side of this building if you take a little area up, which we'll get to here in just a sec. So, you need an LMG, obviously, to take out the target. Well, conveniently, there's one placed right here for you. At this point, again, I don't know when the target's going to be coming for you, So, but for me, he was coming up the stairs right now. It was just like, I mean, couldn't get any better timing than this. He's going to enter that room in there on the left. All you need to do is get up behind him, and another strange coincidence is the sound masks right when we need to kill him.
Having a birthday party. Any happy returns, mate.
And there you have it, ladies and gents. See, because of the thunder, we didn't have to worry about anything. We could take one shot with the LMG, nobody heard because of the thunder, and you're good to go. Another thing you can do there is to, let's say, pacify him, and then wait until the thunder happens. So pacify him in that room, wait till the thunder to happen, shoot him as soon as the thunder happens, and then nobody will hear it, and nobody will come to take a look. So now we're heading over to this area here, and there is going to be one more collectible, and there's one guard here to worry about. He just does this pattern back and forth. So the way that he does his pattern is he goes to this direction here, and he almost immediately goes back. So he stays, when he's coming back in this direction there, he stays there for a good while, so you have enough time to go in, grab, and get out of there. So all collectibles done, 19 out of 19, like a glove. I'm really getting into this game. I know at first I said, you know, I was tired of the same old, and I still am. I want some change, but I can't help but say that, you know, the levels are designed very well, and it really does make you feel like you're a stealthy badass. You know, I mean, what can I say? Even though you've yet to see me actually take out a target with the kill cam in this entire game. Maybe we'll go the whole game without doing that. That'll be something. But doesn't matter the way you play it. Just enjoy the games you love, and they'll be good. They'll be good to you, right? So as you can see, it might be a little hard to get around that guy. It just depends on where he is. But you know, things can change. Enemies might not always be where they are for me, so you have to learn to adapt. And the more you play this game, the more you adapt. Again, this walkthrough is merely to show you guys how to achieve something like this, and then you go off and do it yourself, because most of the time things are going to be different. Maybe you won't be grabbing collectibles. Maybe you won't be doing the optional objectives. So some of you are watching just because you want to watch some stealth gameplay. Others are watching because they need help on a certain objective or a collectible, and that's what I'm here for.
Mission fulfilled. Orca has successfully disabled the Kleiner Bloomer production facility and avoided any civilian casualties in the process. Though the Germans no longer have the means to produce Kleiner Bloomer, it is unknown how much they had stockpiled prior to today. It must be understood, there is more Kleiner Bloomer in Nazi hands. The threat it poses remains, but not for much longer. Thanks to intel recovered by Hawker from the production facility, London has located the center of the Kleiner Bloomer program, as well as Dr. Eloi Schörner, the head scientist responsible for the deadly nerve agent. It's time to deal with both.
All right, well, there we go. 3 stars. Optional objectives, 3 out of 3. Mission accomplished, Devil's Cauldron, kill list, Eloi, Coste. We are now level 18. We also unlock an achievement for completing the mission as well, even though they don't show up because of a Windows bar or whatever that's called. So here you go. As you can see, no alarms raised. That's the main thing we're trying to keep from happening. But bodies discovered 4. That is mostly because when you blow stuff up, people are going to get caught in the crossfire, and other people are going to come in and see. So there's nothing you can really do about that. Now, it says we killed 8 people. Well, if there was 4 bodies to discover, then clearly a lot of people were killed via all of the different destruction that we had to cause. Enemies unconscious 1. That was because we needed to take his key, and everything else is kosher. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We got like 3 levels or so left. Support the channel any way you can, guys. I love what I do, and I want to keep doing it. So thank you all out there. I love you guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace. Bitches.